we kind of envisioned this as a pretty low-key, informal tech help, and it's not necessarily all about using our platform to apply, but also just to answer general questions as you're getting going, and what project might be the best fit, or angles that you want to consider, anything like that, just any clarification we can offer. So if you just want to start firing away questions or
Okay.
concerns, let us, we'll help you.
Okay. So one of my ideas that I have, we have a vacant lot right next door to the city office and library. It's just a grassy lot. And I've always thought we need to put something out there that people can utilize, the community can come together and utilize. And so I've been kind of doing some research, and there's some like cool outdoor types of games and things like that. So like concrete cornhole boards. There's the concrete picnic tables with like checkers and backgammon, on top. There's also even an outdoor ping pong table. I would love to have some seating over there. We talked about putting in some like porch swings, like for conversation areas. But we have a city park, but I kind of want this to be kind of even for adults, to come down, enjoy a little relaxing spot, make it pretty. It's already a really nice area. Put some of those shade sails up, so there's some shade over there. Even for older community, I know we would need to like level it out really well, maybe even put astroturf so there wouldn't be tripping hazards or something. But and then this is kind of the area where we have our night on the prairies, and it gives them someplace else to kind of go and do stuff, and just be able to hang out, I guess. We also, the library part, we do an after school program for kids that are middle school and higher, because the grade schoolers have one through the school, where we offer free popcorn. We have all sorts of fun things for the kids to come in and do, snacks. That would just give them another location where they can go, and just kind of hang out on nice days. So that's kind of one of my areas that I was kind of looking at. I also wanted to look at having the rec commission kind of maybe go in with us on that too, because they're looking for ideas on things to do for not just children, but for adults too. So I think that would be good. But yeah, then on the PPCA side, we have these night on the prairies. We have a very limited budget. Like, we are only running off of several $1,000s each year. So our goal is, when we have these events, to kind of break even on it. But if we had, a little bit of extra, we could maybe get because we try to get live music here. And so we could afford to have somebody that's maybe a little bit more well-known to come and sing or perform, or even to purchase, because it's on our main street and there's no shade, several pop-up canopies that we can put around, so people have like that area to be in the shade and eat their, food and listen to the music and everything like that. So those are some of the ideas in my head. I don't know if those fall into like kind of what you're looking at necessarily.
Yeah, those are awesome examples of what we're looking for. Yeah. Because they're ticking a couple of goals of this. Number one, especially if it was the PPCA group, then that's more of a citizen driven effort. That's a good thing. If the citizen group wants to work with the library, or whatever that, or like you said, the rec commission, any kind of partnerships in there, we like to see that. We love anything that's building on our existing community asset. So if that lot is already kind of a, it's not a nasty old alley or something right now. It's already kind of
It is. We have a blessing box over there where people can donate food and books, and people can come and
uh-huh,
take what they want. It's got a really cool old tree over there. It's got a metal um kind of not a sculpture, but of our rodeo, of a
uh-huh,
bucking cowboy. It's giant. It's a big
uh-huh,
old sculpture back there. So it's pretty.
uh-huh.
It's just underutilized.
Yeah.
So
And then if it can be, the project that you're talking about for that is ideal because it it makes that spot, that place, that's placemaking. When you turn
mhm.
it into a place where people want to come uh,
Yeah.
and hang out, and if it also benefits existing programming at the
Hmm.
library, that's
Yeah.
even better. So,
Hmm.
yeah, you're right on.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and Carrie, I I would like to offer her some kind of advice or input about, because everything you've said is awesome. So, like, you could potentially two different groups from Pretty Prairie could submit applications, and I guess what I want to say is that is completely fine to have that happen. Um, and but I will not guarantee that the committee won't weigh them against each other a little bit too.
Yeah.
That's kind of human nature, but
Hmm.
we do a good job facilitating those groups. We don't get to have a say in the decisions, but we can assure them it's okay to have more than one or whatever. So
Okay. Hmm. Well, that was one of my questions was I didn't want to, well, I mean, like PPCA could go a completely different, um, we haven't had our meeting. We're having that on Tuesday to kind of discuss it. And they could have completely different ideas than what I'm thinking. But yeah, like I didn't want to compete necessarily, but if they like the idea of using the space because it does, I mean, it gives us a space at the our night events. And maybe they want to help contribute to that or help because yeah, like I said, some of the things I want to do are a little bit pricier. Um, the city has a maybe like a small budget that can help with
mhm.
it. The rec commission has a small budget, they could help with it. And I know PPCA would even, maybe contribute to it too, just so we can get, all of our wants in it too,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a I know, like you said, $2,500 isn't necessarily very much, but it could get you rolling,
Hmm.
um, and we've had groups over the years that have like a neighborhood group in Hutchinson. One year they apply for a grant and it's to plant some new trees in their neighborhood park because some of the
Hmm.
old ones had to be cut down by the city. And so that one
Hmm.
year they did that. The next year they applied and it was to put in a basketball court or whatever,
Hmm.
so it can
Yeah.
be an ongoing project that
Okay.
you apply next year for the next step.
Sure.
Um, and as far as the collaborators and the partners on the project, that does come through well on a grant application if you can say, this much of the total cost of the project will be paid for by this and
Hmm.
money, this pot of money, and then what you're asking for. It's always nice
Yeah.
to see what the group can manage to contribute of their own too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, if you have that many groups, I guess, on one project, who would be most beneficial to apply for it? I mean, like I'm going to run this by my city council. Monday night, we have our meeting because I would like to use some of our park money for this. It is our lot. I got to ask permission first to do
Mhm.
that, but, I'd like to use some of our funds for it. Is it better? Like, I know PPCA doesn't have like you said, they can use our tax exempt status to go
Uh-huh.
through it. The Rec Commission, I'm sure, does have their 501c3. Um, but is it better? Which organization does the application?
I don't think, well, I guess ultimately if the PPCA wanted to be the applicant and then have the city as the 501(c)(3), that would show a, commitment to both to
Okay.
the project and kind of lean toward our grassroots efforts by the
Okay.
citizens, but we have had plenty of applications that have come in, straight from the city of Plevna or the city of Arlington or whatever. And
Okay.
that's fine. That's fine too, if that's the approach you'd prefer.
Okay.
I would just be sure and mention that if you go with the city as the applicant, just be sure and make clear that group, if they do decide to be part of
Yeah.
it, that they're talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in either scenario, the city has to be the fiscal sponsor because of the municipality and status.
Okay.
So I think it's probably more straightforward just to have the city do it and just reflect who are all the partners in it. But
Okay.
I think we can support either direction that it makes sense for you all to take.
Okay. Yeah, because my guess is also the library would even contribute some, since it would benefit their after school program too. So there could be several of us. But I mean, and what you're telling me is it's better to, well, and I'm not going to say that, but if you have too many applicants or too many, grants from the same city, I mean, they're not gonna say, yeah, we're gonna grant you all this money for all these different activities. I don't know.
They could. We can't predict that. What we've seen
Yeah.
in the past though is that they tend to try and assess, okay, which is the community priority.
Sure.
And if we had to choose between one of, 3 proposals from Pretty Prairie,
Yeah.
which one would they choose? And
Okay.
what we do in the past is try and assess, like, well, we don't have much time for interviews in this grant cycle process because they're such small grants. But in the past, I've seen the committee, like, even go back to the individual or the organization that was applying for multiple grants and say, okay, which one do you really need the most? You kind of let them weigh in. So you might just think through that. It does put the different proposals in competition with each other. But it can also make the statement that, like, look all that we have going on.
We've got the
Yeah.
energy going here. Let's, the committee could say, wow, they really want to get a lot done. We should, it'd be fun to be a part of that with them, help them.
Yeah. Okay.
We also have kind of our year-round cycle is the Fund for Reno County, that those projects would be eligible for the Fund for Reno County as well. So we like to push the Changemakers at Work grants for kind of small scale, like, let's make the
case
for further investment, like let's take a step toward this direction, and get community buy-in on it. And then maybe you need a bigger investment to get to, like, phase 2. That could be a Fund for Reno County grant. Just like Sarah said, some organizations or some neighborhoods use this grant cycle every year to kind of build on each other. You can use that other grant cycle, Fund for Reno County, to build on it.
Okay.
Partridge has really done that with their gathering space next to their church.
Okay.
Used Changemakers at Work to get some seed money, paired it with some private donations, and then got a bigger grant from the Fund for Reno County to keep going. So
Okay.
for all that too.
Good.
Have you tried getting onto the platform yet? Do you have any questions that have to do with the grant application itself or the?
No, I haven't actually. I've been like, just what I've been doing is trying to gather all my ideas and everything and look at how much it's all going to cost us. So whenever I talk to the council, I can say, here's my dream. And, what do you think? So, I have not gotten onto it yet. I plan on doing that this afternoon, just to kind of see what all is required for applying. So.
Let me ask you a technical question, because we have an organization profile already in our system for Pretty Prairie Community Daycare. and they're using a tax ID, and I wonder if it's the city's. Can't remember.
Okay.
Is it 48-609-0223?
Yes.
Okay, so the city already has a profile, but it's named Pretty Prairie Community Daycare. So we might need to
Okay.
adjust that, but you wouldn't want to create another organization, right? Sarah, we would want to add her as a user.
Of that maybe we need to change
Yeah.
the daycare, childcare one to City of Pretty Prairie, or,
Okay.
and then,
Yeah, so
and
that
then
one,
user can be applying for their part of the city, with their
okay.
project for the city kind of thing.
Let me.
Are you going in there right now?
Yeah.
I'm making a funny face because I'm like, what's she doing?
No, I'm just trying to think, like, so how they put it in here is the mission statement is for the daycare.
Oh.
We had applied for a foundation grant for that. We were denied, but then we
Not-
received other grants that fulfill our needs. So yeah, that's
Hey, and just,
Right.
this is, I know this recording will be shared, and this is specific to you as opposed to
We probably don't
Mhm.
care,
the
'cause we're
general
not doing
audience.
technical assistance, just FYI.
Yeah. Your daycare, your childcare proposal to us definitely was not denied as a unwillingness to support that kind of work in Pretty Prairie. It was
Yeah.
more a case of, we need to figure out how we're gonna have some equity in our helping of all this huge daycare effort that's going on. And
Yeah.
so I hope you understand that. I hope
No.
that's not a
No, we were not. Yeah, it was okay. We had applied for that grant, but then we were also in the middle of a couple of one really big grant that and then a childcare aware grant. So we knew, I mean, it was okay. We were okay with being denied because we had kind of shot for the moon on your guys's. We knew there was kind of a level that was comfortable, and we kind of shot over that just to see. But yeah, that was before we had we knew about our other grants, and so yeah, we're really excited about it.
We were super excited about the fact that effort was happening.
Yes.
And while we couldn't do, like you said, that high of a commitment to it, we are going to be, I mean, we're very interested in figuring out how it is that we can be helpful besides just supporting the effort and energy that y'all are putting into it. So
Yeah. No, so yeah, I mean, I don't know what I need to do when I go onto that portal or whatever, but if there's something I need to do specifically to change the, I don't know, the name or the whoever's working it, whatever, it's fine.
If you're okay, if we just go ahead and change.
Yeah.
And then we'll add you as a user under City of Pretty Prairie. And so you go into the site to log in, use your email that you sent to Sarah. But then click forgot my password.
Okay.
And then you'll create your own password, and you'll just create your user name or your user.
Okay.
You'll complete your user profile, but you won't be asked to create a new organization.
Okay.
So let's go.
And then if you have questions along the way, there is, or even before you start, you may want to watch the tutorial that's on our available grants page. You may want to watch that. It kind of talks you through getting in. And then when the other thing that some people find a little bit tricky is collaborating, is what they call it, what the system calls it, and that is letting other people read through your grant application to make sure that they are okay with it. And also the ability for like the board chair, which in this case would be the mayor or the city council president, however you word it.
Yeah.
They have to sign underneath the board chart. And then the other thing is the CEO. So in that case, it would be the same person probably. And you have to let them in. And there's tutorials right above the signature lines that you can watch and they can watch too.
Okay.
Gary, you look like you want to say
I
something.
was gonna say, Jennifer, you're already in here. You already have an account. So you just need to log in. And if you don't remember your password, still follow that step.
Okay.
You are already under organization. So yeah, you're
Good.
there. You're there.
The one other thing I will say, because I think it'll be valuable to you, but also if anybody else watches this later, is that when you collaborate with people and there's a thing within the system to send an email to them and tell them, hey, you're being asked to collaborate on this. That email often goes to somebody's junk mail because it's not going to come from you. It's going to come from Hutchinson Community Foundation. So you may need to send a personal email to them or call them or whatever and let them know to look for it.
Okay.
So,
yep.
That's it. And we're around. So call us next week if you run into any issues over on the system itself.
Okay.
You're headed the right way.
That's I'm excited about it. I hope I get the approval of everybody that I talk to, the council and the PPCA group. And I'm excited about it.
Well, just on a personal level, from somebody who wants to see all of Reno County thriving, thank you for being that person that's willing to take all those steps and connect the dots. That's that's a job. I mean, that's a job for anyone, even if it's not your employment. So thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I hope we can support what you guys are doing.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I will get it sent in.
All right. Thanks a lot for coming.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later, Jennifer.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's stop.
Stop.